Yo, what's going on, guys? It's A&M Anime here. It's your boy Alex. We back. An extended long vacation. But we back, and I'm coming back with a bang. You know, I've been seeing a lot of things online, so it's time to get to it, people. Now, what I will be starting off with for our first return video is some Haku goodness. You know we love Haku over here. Haku started this channel. It was our very first video covering season 1 through 3. We covered season 4 episode by episode. We've cosplayed Hinata and Kageyama. We talked about Hinata as a character. We talked about Kageyama as a character. So, to continue that tradition, gotta keep Haku going until we wait for season 5. If you don't know, the manga already ended, of course. So, Haku fans are starving for the next season, which should be the last, depending on how they want to do it. But we'll see how that goes. But I'm coming back with a bang, like I said. So, Haku, best sports manga. Whether you agree or disagree will be up to you. Let me get my points across. And the reason I say that is because, for comparison, we have amazing sports manga. We have Slam Dunk, which I think is the only one that's on par with Haku. Technically. We have Blue Lock, which needs an anime. We have Kuroko no Basketball, which is a classic as well, but I still don't think it touches Haku. We have Hajime no Ippo, boxing manga. Classic again. Once again, not touching Haku. And the reason I say they aren't touching Haku is fairly simple. Haku, for as short as it is, Haku is what, 406 chapters, I believe, 405 chapters. And within that, we have character growth for the entire main cast of Karasuno, which consists of Hinata, Kageyama, Tsukishima, Asahi, Suga, Daichi, Yamaguchi, Kinoshita, Inoshita, and Nishinoya. Not to mention the captain, Yachi. So we have 11 characters who, throughout this manga, all gets character development, all gets time to shine, and you don't even get that in battle manga now with the current shown. Like, the only ones that's really giving shine to a lot of the characters, for example, would be Black Clover. Or JJK seems to be doing it well, but I don't read that, so I can't really speak too much on it. But a lot of manga falls short where there's a large cast, and that cast gets ignored for either the main character or some fan favorites because the author notices that people take a liking to another character over someone else. In Haku's case, there's always at least about 3 to 4, maybe even more, characters, and this is just main cast talking right now, 3 to 4 characters per game that get a shine. So let's say, against Shiro Toizawa, we had Hinata and Kageyama, of course, because they had the initial run-in. Then you have Suki, who has major character development. He's the MVP of that match, if you haven't seen it. Major character development, which in turn gives Yamaguchi character development because that's his friend. He the one that kind of pushed Suki to kind of pursue volleyball a little bit more. He was one of the ones. There were multiple instances of people pushing Suki, but Yamaguchi, ultimately the best friend, gripped him up and kind of gave him a talking to that, yo, you can be as good as Hinata too. So you have this cast of guys, this lovable cast of guys. There's not anybody on this team, Karasuno, that you can hate. I make my jokes about Yamaguchi and his pent serving, but all in all, still a good character. And the same goes for Hinata as a main character, which we'll get into, of course. But I say all that to say because like I said, a main cast can make or break a show. If you don't like, you can not like 1 out of 10, and that would be a good reason for you to drop the show. So for Date to have created the main cast of Karasuno and have you like all of these characters is a testament to writing, is a testament to dedication to making sure that every character created actually has a purpose in the story. And that purpose is truly important, especially for a sports manga, because everybody has a role. Definitively. Like, it's not like a battle shonen where it's like, okay, everybody just fights. You'll have a particular role. Here it's a sport. You have your libero, you have your middle blocker, your captain, your setter, wing spiker, ace, etc. So everybody here has that role to play, and Ferdate does a good job of showing their growth in their roles, their growth amongst the team, and it's just an amazing thing to see. Now, sticking with Karasuno for now, before we get to the other side cast characters, we have Hinata as our main character, who, in my opinion, has some of the best growth in shonen manga. And I say that because a lot of the times when we have a main character, they kind of stagnate. They don't really get development. Like, once again, going back to battle manga, usually what happens is somebody dies that's important to the main character, and they'll have that moment where it's like, okay, maybe it's usually something simple like, I'll never lose again. That's usually what it boils down to. But it doesn't change their character. It doesn't change their personality. It doesn't make them grow in any way. It's just a simple acknowledgement of, I need to get stronger. With Hinata, the Ball Boy arc, for example, which was in the latest season, To the Top, gives Hinata the realization that, okay, I suck. I've been getting carried by my team throughout all these matches, and now with this important Spring Nationals tournament coming up, I need to get better. So throughout the Ball Boy arc, Hinata is pretty much getting pushed around by everybody, getting pushed around by Shiratorizawa coach, telling him he's worthless. You got all the teammates asking him why he's there. You got Suki kind of just watching him. And it's just like, he comes to the realization, like, what am I doing here? Because he snuck there in the first place. He wasn't invited. He wasn't good enough to be invited, because at the end of the day, all Hinata could do was jump and spike. And that, in turn, was more so because of Kageyama's ability, which is also said to him many times. So throughout that arc, it's kind of him realizing that, okay, I need to take a step back and start from square one. And that's the growth in his character, because, like I said, he was so focused on just, I want to play volleyball. I want to hit the ball. So when we get to nationals and he's playing like an actual player, like he's being like a sort of kind of all-rounder, as he went through that growth in the Ball Boy arc, you kind of see the fact that, okay, his love for volleyball skyrocketed, as Suki said. He fell deeper into volleyball mania because he understood that he needed to get better at everything, not just being able to jump whenever and Kageyama would get him the ball. And speaking of Kageyama, rival. Every shonen has a rival. Every single shonen. You got Naruto and Sasuke. You can kind of say Gon and Killua, but they're more so best friends. Asta and Yuno. Luffy, Law and Kid, Zoro and Sanji, etc. Goku, Vegeta. You know how it goes. So here, this works because, one, they're on the same team. As most rivals usually are, they're usually on the same team. They usually just hate each other, which these two kind of do, in a way. But I think it works a little bit better because they kind of need each other. Kageyama, for example, is a fast setter. He wants to be able to pull all these crazy sets, and Hinata, for a while, was the only one that can give him that throw that he wanted. Hinata was fast enough, he was athletic enough, and he trusted Kageyama's ability to get him the ball. So their rivalry kind of makes each other better, to the point where even when they're not together, they're thinking about how I can get better to come back and work with my partner. So, for example, Kageyama went to the All Japan camp and he saw someone that was kind of like Hinata, which is Hoshimiya. So he saw Hoshimiya do a jump that was higher than Hinata's, and to him it was like, okay, thank you for the reference, because he had a partner back home who he can try that with. So I like the thrive of the rivalry between those two that kind of just pushes them forward. More so, it's not annoying. It's not an annoying rivalry. Like, it's not like a Naruto Sasuke Part 2 thing where it's like he's obsessed with him. Like, at the end of the day, Hinata has a full team that he can depend on other than Kageyama as well. So it's not like an obsession type rivalry. It's not like a Vegeta type thing where it's like, oh, I'll beat you, I'll beat you, I'll beat you, I'll beat you over and over again. Like, they want to beat each other. They want to stay on the court the longest, but they're still on the same team. They understand that, and they work together really darn well. So it's not a type of rivalry that gets on your nerves. I think another shonen rivalry that I would put on par with actually Asta and Yuno, because those two, once again, are friends but are still competing for the same type of status, Wizard King. So that's that. But moving on to other characters, side characters, of course, you got Nekoma, the rival school. Probably that would be Mike's favorite. He actually wants them to win because he's anime only, so he's really hoping they win against Karasuno, but bad news for you, buddy. But yeah, Nekoma and Kimba. Kimba pushes Hinata further again, and in turn, Hinata has an impact on Kimba because Kimba is more so as a, I don't want to say lazy, he's just not driven. So when he sees Hinata playing volleyball with such passion, he kind of gets pushed. And I think a big part of that is the fact that just Hinata's personality and how much he just really just wants to play volleyball. So Nekomahao is pretty darn cool. You got Shiratorizawa, which is the big team for Season 3. Season 3 actually consisted only of the match against Shiratorizawa. So, and my man Tendo was on there with the red hair. Amazing. Love his songs. Hey, Bokuto, of course. Gotta love the best ace in the show. Come on. His depression is amazing. His growth within that. I won't go into manga territory. We're going to keep this strictly from season 1 through 4, so I can't say too much about Bokuto. But probably my favorite ace in the show, for sure. Like, I like Asahi, but I like Bokuto's more outgoing personality, more so to speak, because that's just me. But and then you got the Mia twins, of course, Inazari High. Like, I can't stress enough. I can go through a bunch of teams, a bunch of casts, a bunch of characters. And it's just, they're all lovable. Like, we're trying to beat these guys. And yet, like, you cheering them on. Like, for instance, Inazari, I kind of wanted them to win. You know? And they're not even the main cast. So, I think that's a testament, once again, to Ferdate's ability to create some amazing characters, some amazing teams all around. Like, it's not just one or two characters on a team. There's multiple on each team. Or even a full team that you care about. Excuse me. So, they keep it nice and short and sweet. Honestly, there's no other sports manga out there with an amazing cast like Haku. Like, the thrill of Haku. Like, we just started Nationals in Season 4. And I can tell you guys, without getting into spoiler territory, that the matches only get better. So, honestly, without saying too much manga-wise, like, it's just, because I don't want to spoil it, most of my audience is anime only. But, guys, I can't push Haku enough. Really darn good show. Alright? Check it out if you haven't. Please. Read the manga as well. Quick read. Quick watch. 4 seasons. Like I said, 5th should be the last, potentially. But just check them out. I know it's volleyball. You probably want to see something like football, or if you read in Blue Lock, you can read Haku, okay? I don't want to hear it. You're reading a soccer manga, so check it out. But that's what I got for you guys. Favorite manga, favorite show. Hinata Shoyo is my favorite main character. Yes, pardon, because we're both short. But thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell for all notifications, of course. Until next time. Peace.